Hey guys, Stealth here, and welcome back to the Transport Fever series in Britain. In case you missed the previous episode, we have a new shipping route, literally shipping. We're transporting a bunch of crude oil barrels or crude oil to the refinery, and then from the refinery we're shipping fuel to Bristol, or at least to this dock. And from over here it's going to get shipped by truck into East Bristol, which is now looking at a mediocre jobs rating or a mediocre supply rating for the cargo section, which is better than what we have anywhere else. Now in this episode I want to start burning a ton of cash. Well, actually I don't want to, but it's going to happen anyway. I want to start electrifying these lines and then add new trains to them. Because the trains that I have right now are 25 years old, soon to be 26. And as such they will need to be replaced eventually. So we're going to have to start upgrading these things to include high-speed lines as well as the catenary. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it just means that we have electrical lines. I'm going to have to get a large loan in order to complete that project. And I would love to have a button where it just says upgrade all. So upgrade this to be electrified and to be high-speed lines. I know that the high-speed lines are not that much of a priority just yet, but they are definitely something that I will be looking into in the future when we actually get trains that can do that. Alright, for now I'm just going to be focusing on the electricity part of it. Is this thing electrified? Yes, it is. Fortunately, the game considers these as large stretches. Alright, almost done. That's all of them, I think. This one electrified? Yep, has catenary. Perfect. Now, I'm going to recall all the trains. People are not going to like that too much, but they're going to have to make do. I'm going to sell off all those trains and start getting electric trains, which are faster, have far more tractive effort, and as such should be able to transport a whole lot more passengers, especially faster, considering that these things are operating at 60 and the trains that I want to be getting, which is the AE7, can go up to 100 kilometers per hour. That should make the passengers quite happy because they're going to be moving far, far faster. Alright, my trains are not worth that much anymore. We're looking at about 700k a piece. There's the other one. That's the fourth one. Head back to the depot, please. Still waiting for a free path. It's potentially because this train's currently on the wrong side of the tracks. Yep, now he has a free path. Sell that thing off. Now I'm gonna boost my loan to maximum, which is potentially a bit counterintuitive, but I need the cash to get at least 2 trains running here. So we're gonna be going with the AE7. This thing has excellent power rating. I'm going to be throwing on as many of these things as possible. As long as they can go 100 kph, I'm perfectly happy with it. Running costs 112. 17 passengers. Their weight is what I'm looking at. See, if I take the Dönerbuchse over here, my weight goes up by 5 tons per. And my passengers by 3. Speed's not that much better. I'm going to stick to the 3-axle car. I would love to get the BC4 already, because their lifespan is just very good at 35. They're 24 tons, they can go faster, but my train simply cannot handle that yet. Alright, capacity right now is 84. Let's clone this one. We can add 1 more to each, I think. Alright, 98. Yeah, that's gonna have to do. I know that I just took off one of these trains. I mean, I had 3 of them running. It's gonna be down to 2. I'm gonna have to sell off this train as well. And then with the profits, I might be able to afford 1 more car for each. Not enough. Yep. Alright, what's your power rating like? Still good. Perfect. Alright, both of you guys, onto the central line. They're going to be accelerating quite a bit faster than what I had. And hopefully they're going to be making me more money this way. They're going to have to, because my loan just skyrocketed from 150 interest to 450. Alright, passengers on board. We're going to be seeing quite a few less passengers at the moment because the trains simply weren't showing up. That makes sense. So initially these things are going to be running with a bit of a, or actually a lot of a deficit, considering they're costing me 1.68 million a year. Let's see their speed. By the time they just exit the station, they're already doing 60. Looking at 80. What do you mean waiting for a free path? Are you in the wrong... Yeah. You're in the wrong lane. Okay, go the other way. It's because from over here they cannot... Well, actually they can get to the other side, but they just decided not to. Oh, hang on. Something's not right here. Something is not right here. Because these trains are considering the entire line as one section. That's a problem. That means that particularly, or potentially one area is not yet electrified. One little section where they're going from one track to the next. Yep, that. That part's not electrified. And because it's not, they don't consider this to be a valid path. That is pretty shitty, because now I don't have my trains operating on 2 lines. Or on 2 different ends, it's just one. And I don't have the money to fix it. At least not yet. Maybe if we start dropping off the passengers, that's going to improve. See, we are getting money from these trains, but right now we're going to be getting warnings that they don't have the way to get there. Alright, I'm going to have to send you back to the depot. Simply because I need to sell off some stuff and fix this issue. Without that, none of these trains can run properly. One tiny section of rail. That was all that was standing between me and these trains running properly. Right. Minus 1.55. Jesus. Alright. Maybe I wasn't quite ready economically yet for this change here. See, and now they're fixed. That was all there was to it. Get back to the central line. These trains better start performing, or we're going flat broke on this playthrough. Really, dude? Ships are still making an okay profit. The trucks are barely performing. That's the Bristol fuel line. Seriously, get onto the other track. No, I don't want you to go to South London. I want you to go all the way to Canterbury. Go. Please tell me it's working. Yeah, it is working. Okay, from over here they can make the change to the other track. Oh, hang on. This train's not where it should be. Go back. We're going to be running negatively for quite a long time. Excellent power rating, yeah. Surprise, surprise. These passengers must be getting quite annoyed going back and forth like that. Well, let's see if I can get myself out of this hole that I just dug for myself. Because apparently my monetary situation was not quite ready for this. Alright, we are getting some money out of these guys. Potentially if this train arrives... See, their speed's good. 100 kph. This one though has a capacity of 112, the other one only 70. Come on, 120k. If these things can break even, that'd be a good first step. And especially right now, they're still transporting passengers which are supposedly going to go the other way. So that's going to cause issues with them and making them run less efficiently than they should. At least the passengers are starting to queue up for the trains again. That's a good sign. How many? 52k. Yep, we're seeing the population come back to the trains. In large numbers. 262 passengers. Should have brought a bus. $130. So you guys are all hoping to go to South London then? Or Canterbury potentially? 800k. Negative, that is. Another 70 for Canterbury. There's 200k. So I wonder if we're going to see this train actually empty out in Canterbury. That'd be interesting. Because I think that would actually fully reset the train. $500,000. Well, it's starting to look better. Profit was, or actually income was minus $1 million, it's now minus $500,000. You picked up a good number of passengers waiting in Canterbury. We can drop those off here. $28. Where these people are hoping to go? I know there were quite a few passengers waiting over here that were hoping to get to some town a little bit further out. Details. Tell me when to go. South London. What? Where are you going? Ah, you're going shopping in Bristol. That's supposedly it. You are... See, I don't get this. Adam O'Neill, waiting in Canterbury. Where's your work? Canterbury. Move by foot. So what are you doing at the train station? Why are you trying to get to Birmingham if you work in Canterbury? I don't know, maybe a work trip or something. Alright, minus 2.7 million. Trains are still making me a loss of 400k. This train's making a profit. Train 2, well, it was. There, it finally arrived at the end of the line, and now it's making me a profit. Okay, the trains are profitable once more. And with those profits, I can potentially dig myself out of this large debt that I actually got myself into. 56 for Southampton. That's good, we can throw those onto this train. Almost running full. You are not running full. See, this thing has a capacity of 70 versus the 112 there. but its running costs are not that much less. We're only looking at about 30k a year. But you can feel the capacity, or the lack of capacity rather. And also I think that we don't have as many people queuing up here, because we don't have as many trains running. So that's causing issues with the profitability of these lines. Because if they're not running full, then they're not making enough money. Talking of money, or not running full. What the hell? Yeah, it's because of this. My ships are no longer transporting full hauls of cargo. Because this one, yeah, try to ship more items. Not shipping it from here, shipping it from there. This thing is completely bottlenecking out. And because of it, the ships are no longer getting a full haul. So before I can actually get these ships full again and making money, I first need to ship off all of this excess fuel that we have waiting here. Do we have enough stops here? You. Yeah, they're making a modest profit, but not nearly as much as I was hoping they would. So their first stop is over here, I think. No. That one. Bristol Fuel. This one has quite some industrial buildings right next to it. Supply rating 27, 44. That's decent. And this is mostly... yeah, mostly just standard residential area. This one is covering the other side of the industrial area, so that should be enough. Trains, please save me. 255. Ouch. Money, minus 2.9 million. This, though, is starting to improve. It was minus 1.96. It's last year it was minus 500k. This year we're looking at minus 350k. So we are starting to minus 700. We're starting to slowly, emphasis, slowly claw our way out. Oh, that's the small train, the Bristol one. This is the large one. Yeah, it's turning a profit. But it's not enough. It's not fast enough. Okay, lesson learned. Don't do these sort of stupid, foolish investments early on. Because it's gonna get your economy just completely knackered. Not a good development. Via East Bristol. So every stop they're doing a slight bit better. But I'm not sure if I can actually salvage this. If not, I'm going to have to go back to a situation where either I was not using these trains, or where we overhaul it. And we say we're not going to be using trains anymore, we're going to be using buses. That's a pretty large switch. And considering the amount of traffic that we have over here, buses are far from ideal. Because they're going to get stuck in traffic all the time. But it's something that could, in the short run, make me some money. Unless we can see this line go up and up and up. But it seems to be holding steady at about minus 600. Now the alternative is selling off one of these trains and hoping that that fixes it. See, this one is making, or is only costing me money. Because it does not have the capacity. If I sell this off, I get 4 million in the plus. And I lose something that's costing me money. About give or take 160k a year. So that could be an interesting alternative. Just sell off this train 1. And maybe add a few more of these wagons to train 2. The amount of frequency for trains is going to be terrible. Because right now it's 5 minutes, but that's going to be doubling by the time that we get this other train gone. At least I'll have some money. Where are you now? Oh, you're heading all the way to Canterbury now. If I sell off my ships, I'm never going to get my money in the green again. Value, about 500,000. See, it's almost getting there, but not quite. And these ships are also starting to crack me up. Not in a good sense. This train right now, it's doing the best. 800k per year. Okay, train 1. Head back to the depot. You're going to get sold off. So that the other train, train 2, can turn a profit. And a large one at that. Everything else that's not making me money is making me, or costing me a lot of cash. Alright, I need to train 2 to come home for a moment. Yep, good enough. What? Oh. Fine. We're gonna have to do this by the time it gets to Canterbury. Because there's no electric path bringing it back home. At least not for now. There's no cross-section here either. No, it has to go all the way to Canterbury. Which could be a good thing, because that's where it starts to make the money. With people going from Canterbury to Birmingham or the other way around. Again, far from ideal. At least I'm looking at green numbers again. Temporarily. And artificially inflated at that. Thank you. Go home. Pick up 3 more of these coaches. And continue on your way. Train's going to arrive every... none. Because I just pulled it off the line. I can repay some of this loan. Alright, add, and add. Hold. What are you looking at? Power rating, good. Transport capacity, 154. I'll give you another 2. Transport capacity should be 182. Alright, go. This better work. These things can carry a lot of passengers now. Do we even have 100? We don't even have 182 passengers waiting. People are going to have to wait 10 minutes for the next train to arrive. That's quite a lot. Now, with the rest of the cash, I know I should be paying off my loan, but I'm not going to. I want this loop to work. Sorry, not the Bristol, the fuel one. Because until all of this fuel is getting resolved to Bristol, until it's getting shipped, we're not getting paid with these ships. These ships are costing me more than they're actually making me. Alright. Please, please, please start making me money. 53. Okay, so they're still queuing up. I was worried that they were all going to just disappear. Because there's not enough trains coming. But so far, they're still queuing. It's just going to be queuing for months and months and months. Alright, show me. 300k. What's your yearly operating cost? 2.24. How many have board? 60. We're going to be looking at another minus 450k soon. Via Southampton. That's another 40-ish passengers, 50-ish. Via South London, another 63. Alright, buddy. You're it. You're the only thing that's potentially going to drag me out of this hole. 77. Not good, not good, not good. Now, this is mostly and almost entirely because I am not a patient man. I want these trains to start making money instantly, immediately, and it's just it's just not working. I need to be a little bit more considerate with the fact that this game takes a while to ramp up. It is not going to happen that fast. See, this one is slowly but steadily fighting its way back from a deficit. And if I let it, it should make money. Let's see. The question is that enough? 300k. Sort of. Minus 105. I think that with all the passengers waiting, it should turn a profit this year. Via Southampton 223, so there's definitely no shortage of passengers once again. $38. But this loan is starting to crush me. Fallback plan, sell off the train. Just sell it off. I could get a couple of red arrows instead. The transport capacity is terrible. So I would rather not if I don't have to. It's still full. How many people are waiting to get to Birmingham? That must be pretty much the whole train. Were you on the wrong side, by the way? Come on, dude. I think I'm placing too much faith in this one train. Oh, my ships are getting positive again. Not so much the fuel line. $700k. And it just completely emptied out. Everybody got off the train there. $55 for Southampton. Yeah, it's going to fill up once again in this direction. Especially here. South London. And then eventually we're going to be seeing people here. Well. Lesson learned. Don't do shit like this. There's another minus 450. Boom. And all the running costs with it. Profit last year. Or lack thereof. Loss. 500k. And I'm getting pretty much sick and tired of watching this one train go back and forth. Hoping for the best. See, I do this game single player, not recording as well. So off screen. And off screen I tend to be a bit more patient. It's mostly because I don't want to give you guys 30 to 40 minutes episodes where there is nothing going on. Because that seems to be part of this game. Where you're just waiting for cash to come in. Where you're just hoping to be able to buy the next train or the next truck or whatever. Where you're hoping to extend the line to the next station. It's particularly boring to watch. So that's why I'm trying to speed these things along. And that's why I keep making mistakes like these, where I think, okay, I need to speed this up or people are going to get bored out of their minds. So as such, I make rash investments, like the ones that you just saw me make this episode with taking out a massive loan and just throwing it all into hoping that I can speed up the profits by electrifying these routes, when it simply wasn't necessary. So yeah, that is what could be an explanation for this clusterfuck here. Value 9.21. If I were to get... See, here we go again. Let's say that this thing eventually gets me 9 million-ish. I could get one engine for that. So that's 1.42. Plus... And what's the speed of this thing? 90. So we can use a couple of these, which we still have. And I can have 3 to 4 trains running around. Let's say something like that. We're going to have more passengers, but also a higher starting rate. Because these things have running costs, 2.37 a year. These things' running costs are far, far more. Tractive effort, 330 or 363, 90. So this thing is 4 times as powerful as the Class 75. But is it enough? Hey, look at that. We're in the green. Temporarily. Emphasis temporarily. Let the situation develop. Let's see where it goes. But don't worry, I'm going to be doing that off screen, as not to bore you. Hope you enjoyed this clusterfuck of an episode. Let me know what you think I should have done instead, which is probably pretty simple. Don't invest as rashly as I am, hoping to speed the video series along, because it's just not fucking working. And I'll see you soon for the next episode, if there is going to be such a thing. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Hey guys, Stealth here. Welcome back to Transport Fever, where I have decided to completely abandon my previous gameplay. In the sense that I am no longer in possession of any assets other than this line, the Bristol fuel line, and the supply ships. I have sold off everything else, or am in the process of doing so. As you can see, we still have a couple of trams waiting to come home. They're going to sell themselves off, and that's it. Here's the alternative. I'm going to set up a few bus routes for now. I'm going to try and pay off a little bit of the debt, set up some bus routes between Southampton, London, South London, Canterbury, and with it, see if I can make a bit of a profit. If that does not work, I'm calling this as the end of the episode, or the end of this playthrough. I know that, yes, that is the umpteenth playthrough or series or whatever you want to call it that I've abandoned, but I'm getting really, really frustrated with this game, and especially with my inability to make it work. And when I am at that point of a game, there is a very good chance that you're not going to be seeing it back on the channel for quite a while, if at all. Anyway, I'm going to be setting up a bus route that starts out in Birmingham, heads over to South London, and pretty much back again. There, High Street. Actually, let's cut out High Street there and put it Canterbury, like that. That's one. We're going to be getting a few vehicles for that. Unfortunately, I only use trams so far, so I'm going to have to deploy vehicle bay. A depot. This should do. Line 1. And let's see. There is a route or a road transporting, or at least capable of transporting stuff from South London to Southampton. So let's get that done as well. What the hell, why am I only seeing one line? Ah, it's classed as a tram line. That's why. Because there can be the potential of having a tram operate on that line. Okay, so you're going to be starting out in Southampton. Going there, touching there. And then we're going to make a loop through here. Back to London Road. Over there and back to Southampton. Okay, so this is South London to Southampton. And again, the vehicle bay that we just deployed can supply vehicles for that. 4, 5, 6. That way. Okay, the rest of it I'm going to spend on paying off my loan. And we're going to see what this is going to get me. Bus routes, potentially, get some money going. But it will not be a lot. And, oh, here we go. Yeah. The buses are all getting stuck in traffic. Because these routes, or roads, or whatever you want to call them, are just overflowing. Now, supposedly there's a bus lane here. I'm not really seeing it. This might be it? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's see if these people are hoping or are going to hop onto this line. They might. Who knows? Stranger things have happened. Because right now, with the trains dead, this is the only route that people have to go anywhere from Canterbury. So let's see if they're smart enough to take it. In the meanwhile, let's see if the trucks from the Bristol fuel line and the ships are still making any money. Right now, not so much. But it seems that at least there is something to ship once more. That's a good development. Alright, we're seeing people waiting here. Potentially the people that were waiting for the train. Now, I'm seeing quite a few... Oh, look at this. The sound... The sound. The town is completely gridlocked. These buses are going to have a hard time getting out of here. It's just standing there, waiting for people to get their butts moving. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm calling it. This is the end of the gameplay. I'm going to attach this to the end of the previous episode. And I do not think I'll be playing Transport Fever again for the foreseeable future. At least not on the channel. It's simply down to me not being patient enough. And playing stuff off camera, I'm not sure if that's going to be too interesting. Look at these buses. Could be me. I'm taking 95% of responsibility. Could be part of the map, because the trams were always getting stuck in London/South London. I don't know. This is just the end of this series. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and maybe I'll see you soon for another Transport Fever series, but I wouldn't be particularly hopeful, to be honest. Anyway, see you soon.